Now, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We kick off with the class. I hope my full-time colleagues will be joining me today. Before I forget, I have to announce that next week we won't have a class in this time. But then my contact students, I will give you an assignment to work on. I am away in Sao Paulo for the rest of next week. So I have tried today to combine the two study units, what we have to do today and the next week's work. It's all about prepositions and personal pronouns, and that is lesson 5 and 6, if I'm not mistaken. Lesson 6 and 7. Yeah, we're flying. We're finishing the book. That is lesson 6 and 7. And that's what we will be doing today. Prepositions and personal pronouns. Welcome. Now, regarding the previous work, just to give you an overview of what we have done already, and as I roll them like that, something will be playing in your mind. I will be reminding you of something. Alphabets, vowels, diphthongs, lesson 1, and then study unit 2A and 2B, English and Greek syntax. And then lesson 2, we dealt with the main verb, luo, lueis, and all that, and some vocabulary. Lesson 3 dealt with the nouns of the first declension, that is the feminine nouns, the pure alpha and the pure eta, and the mixed, when we mix the alpha and the eta. And then lesson 4 dealt with the nouns of the second declension, that is the masculine nouns, the os ending, and also the neuter nouns. Sorry, I forgot there. And then lesson 5, we dealt with the adjectives, the uses of the adjectives, and so forth. All the attributive, all the predicative, and the substantive use. And now we are coming to lesson 6. I want us to go back to this. Lesson 3 and 4. Generally, we said nouns of the first declension, most of them are feminine. You remember that? Most of them are feminine. Now I'm changing my language. I say most of them are feminine. What does that tell you? There are some which are masculine. All right? Same applies to lesson 4. Nouns of the second declension. Most of them are masculine nouns. Most of them. But some are feminine. Okay? And they should not pose any problem to you. We can look at that, I think, in lesson 6. 2 of them, feminine nouns of the second declension. Let's start maybe with the masculine nouns of the first declension. We dealt with the first declension, and the first declension were feminine nouns, all right? But then we have masculine nouns falling in this group also, which are the word like prophet, or prophetess. You look at the ending, it has the S ending, but then the article is ho. That article tells you that this word is, or this noun is, a masculine noun. Don't look at the ending. In this instant, you look at the article, the lead word, or the definite article. Ho, prophetess. That is a masculine noun of the first declension, which the majority of the nouns are feminine. All right? And the other word or noun is ho mathetes, disciples. The article is ho, masculine, but the ending is the S, which is like a feminine, and that's why it falls under the first declension. All right. Coming to the feminine nouns, what do you expect here now? Use the logic. The definite article is going to be feminine, he, but then the ending will be os. All right? And I'm not introducing 100 words to you. It's only 2 words in the masculine nouns of the first declension. It's only ho prophetess and ho mathetes. Now, coming to the feminine nouns of the second declension, we have a noun he eremos. He eremos. What does it mean? A desert. Woestijn, okay? A desert. And then, secondly, we have he hodos. The way. The way. And those are the 2 nouns I am introducing to you in both sides. So they should not pose any problem or any confusion. You should just know them. All right. So now lesson 6 kicks off with that. Just adjusting lesson 4 and 5. I mean lesson 3 and 4. We just went back to what we did there in lesson 3 and 4. And then now generally, lesson 6 deals with feminine nouns of the second declension and masculine nouns of the first declension and prepositions. And that's where we will be today. The 4 settles of, the prepositions in English, 4 settles in Afrikaans. And then lesson 7 also, it's something I will introduce to you today. What do we have? We will be having the most important verb, is. That is esti in Greek. We will also look at the forms of the personal pronoun. Forms of the personal pronoun and how they work in Greek. How they work, I mean the syntax. How are you going to use them, or how are they used? Okay, we're done with the... Now, introduction to... Sorry for that. Not Greek nouns. I'm not sure why is it recurring and recurring. I must remove it. Study outcomes, you will have them in page 22 of your study guide. All those, recognize and explain. Recognize and explain. That's very, very important. Please, ladies and gentlemen, forget about that. And this is not lesson 3, it's lessons 6 and 7. Just a mistake from my side. Recognize and explain. Recognize and explain. We are dealing with masculine nouns of the first declension. We have dealt with that already. We are dealing with the syntax of the prepositions, how prepositions work in Greek, and we will also have the special constructions of prepositions, and then the verb Amy. What does it mean? I am. Ek-es, I am. Okay? And then we will also look at the forms of personal pronouns. I will tell you more about it as we continue. Recognize and analyze the syntax, of course, of the personal pronouns. How do they work? And so forth. Now, the feminine nouns of the second declension and the masculine nouns of the first declension. That's basically what I referred to you. I referred to in page 28. We don't have to waste time on that now. Prepositions. Prepositions. Very, very important aspect of the Greek language. A preposition expresses a relationship between a noun or pronoun and some other part of the sentence. So, we always say it joins things. Nah. Joining things with. I play pararai. What does it mean? What are we looking for? What is short? We need a preposition, okay? XPL yele. Doesn't make sense, okay? XPL some met yele. Now it makes sense. I am playing with you. So, a preposition expresses a relationship between a noun or a pronoun and some other part of the sentence. So they are very, very important. They are so needed. Some Greek prepositions, this is what now you have to learn. Some Greek prepositions are used exclusively. Now underline that. Exclusively with one case, and others with two, and few with more than two, and that is three. Okay? So the prepositions we are going to learn. Some prepositions, what am I talking about when I talk about the case? It's a stupid question again. What is a case? How many cases do we have in Greek? Is it 5? Not 6? Are you sure? Okay, 5. Let me hear from you. It's nominative, vocative. I thought you said executive. Okay, genitive and dative. There's no executive case, all right? Okay, good. Now, so that's what I mean by a case. So, prepositions, some prepositions will work exclusively with one case. In other words, there is a preposition which will always work with the accusative. Once you see that preposition, you know that your noun is accusative. And once you see this particular preposition, then you know your noun is in a genitive. But some prepositions will work with two cases, and the meaning changes. This preposition plus this specific case will mean something. But the moment you put the same preposition with a noun in a different case, the meaning changes. So you have to be careful, right? And then thirdly, it even gets more complicated. One preposition with this case, it will mean something. And the same preposition with a different case, it means something. The same preposition with a different case altogether, it will mean something. And that's where Greek gets exciting, all right? Because then it demands us a lot of studying, a lot of memorizing, a lot of working and so forth. So that's where we are now. Okay, that's basically what you will get with regard to prepositions in Greek. Most importantly, the prepositions that are used with more than one case may have very different meanings with different cases. That's what I was trying to emphasize, and I can there underline it, that you are going to experience something exciting here. And what a joy. If you know them, then you know how to translate. You know how to go about your Greek and so forth. So it changes the meaning completely. You will see as we get into this lesson. Okay. Now, the syntax, how do they work? How do we use them? Prepositions used exclusively with one case include, and here are them. Here are they. I just try to make some summary. You have a preposition apo. Apo. That preposition will always, wherever you will find it. Did you underline that? Wherever you will find it, you will find it used with a noun in a genitive. No other case. It's apo plus genitive plus nothing. It's apo plus genitive, and it will mean from. It will describe a motion or a movement away from something. Okay? A movement away from something. Apo, away from the table. Then it will be apo, tes, something, something. Apo, tes, trapeza or trapezas, away from the table, away from the chair. Apo, tes, cathedras. Okay? If you move away from something, there is your preposition with a genitive. All right? Ace, a movement into, not away. Ace, it will always work with the genitive case. The accusative case. Accusative. Into. Afrikaans have a way of N, okay? Into something. Always with the accusative. Whenever you see ace, you mustn't expect any other case. It's basically the accusative, and it will mean or describe a motion into. Apo with genitive, a motion from, away from. Okay, are you getting that? Are you still enjoying your Greek? Okay, good. There we have it. Let's see what else. Then you also have a preposition ek, plus genitive, out of. Apo, from or away from. But then ek, like you would use it, exit, out of. Exit, out of, vanuit. Okay? A motion or a movement out of something. All right. Ek plus genitive. Ek tu uranu. Out of, what is that? Heaven. Okay? Ek tes gas. Out of the land. Ek tu oiku. Out of the house. Okay? A motion or that movement out of something. Okay? And what else do we have? Then you have N. Always with the dative. In. This one is easier. N plus dative in the house. Okay? What is the difference between ace and N? Into and N, in. This one can also refer to a place in the desert, not necessarily inside something, but just a place open somewhere in that vicinity. But then into, it's, contained. Into the room, into the class, into the bottle, into the water, and so forth. All right. So there you have it. Pros, generally, it's actually not falling in this group, but according to my knowledge of Greek, all the time, whenever I find pros, I find it with an accusative noun. Generally, I'm not sure if it exists somewhere, but I still live to learn about that. But then, generally, pros will always describe that motion towards, okay? Motion from here, motion pros ten trapeza, okay? Pros ten trapeza with accusative. Why I'm using 10? Because it's a feminine noun. Trapeza, table, pros ten trapeza, towards the table. I am walking towards the table. You understand that? Egu peripate uo pros 10 trapezan. I am walking towards the table. Okay? You are walking towards the house. Pros ton oikon. Towards the house. Pros ton anthropon. Egu peripatiuo. Pros ton pararai. I am walking towards him. Okay? I am walking towards that. So you will always find it with an accusative. Okay? A motion towards something. And I think that's all we have with the prepositions exclusively used with one case. There you have apo, eis, ek, and pros. Now let's see what we have with preposition used with two cases. The first one, we have a preposition dia. Dia plus genitive will mean through. If you go through the desert, that means you walk across. You just go through it. All right? You will use the genitive. But then you can find dia, you can find dia with a genitive, it will mean through. With an accusative, it will be for the sake of. For the sake of. And now you see the two things are not even the same. So mastering your preposition and the case in that instant is very key. Otherwise, you are going to say something different. You can even swear if you are not sure. Okay? Because you did not master your prepositions and the specific case it works with. So please be careful. Dia plus genitive, it will mean through, if you go through something, okay? And then, but plus the accusative, for the sake of. Tervelefan in Afrikaans, okay? The second one, we have, what is that now? Okay, good. Meta. Meta. Plus genitive, it will be with. I gave you an example. Expiel yele. Doesn't make sense. But then if I say expiel some met yele of I play with you, then it makes sense. With. Meta will be plus the genitive, and then it will mean with. But plus the accusative. Meta will mean something else. Meta, it will mean after. A very, very common way of communicating in biblical Greek. You are going to find, meta tauta. That is meta plus accusative. After these things, in the historical narratives, in the Gospels, okay? After these things, Jesus went to Galilee. After these things, the disciples did this and this. After these things, in the historical narratives, in the Gospels, you will find that construction is very, very common. Meta tauta. It's your preposition meta plus the accusative tauta, which you are going to learn it in lesson 8, I think. Your demonstrative pronoun. After these things, the near demonstrative and the far demonstrative, this and that. After these things, that's what you're going to, we will get that in lesson 8. Meta plus genitive, it will be with plus, with accusative, after or behind. Okay? So it will be very key for you to master that preposition. Otherwise, it will throw us around. Peri, about, concerning, that's when it has or it's working with the genitive, and then with the accusative, it will be around. And that should not be a difficulty to you. With that. Peri plus an accusative, peri plus accusative, it will mean around. What does it remind you of? If you're talking peri and around. No, it's just a general question. A perimeter. What is a perimeter? A distance where? Around the circle. A distance around. So it's peri plus accusative will be around in your mathematics. Okay? Good. So peri plus an accusative would be around. Rondom in Afrikaans. Now, preposition used with 3 cases will be introduced to you in future lesson. Is it not good news? Just postpone it for the next time. Okay? Good. So, now we're coming to the present indicative of Amy. I'm done with prepositions. That is the summary now in lesson 6. Okay? That's what we have in lesson 6. I think I touched all the prepositions. Apo, eis, ek, en, pros, dia, meta, peri. For now, in lesson 6, that's what you have to know. Okay? Now, Amy, it's a very, very important verb. That is how we pass or how we conjugate it. I am. Amy, A, you are. Yes. And then, or in Afrikaans. And then st, with a movable nu, if the next word begins with a vowel, then you have to put that nu. But then if the next word begins with a consonant, then you can leave it out. Okay? Don't allow a situation where the verb st ends with an iota and the next one starts with an alpha. Then you are going to have 2 vowels, 2 sounds mixing. Remember, we're coming from the oral traditions. These things were told orally. And as I sit here and as I stand and talk, the scribes will be sitting down doing what? Writing. So in terms of pronouncing, then the vowels may not be close to one another. Because then, as you sit there as a scribe, you won't hear what I said. I will mix the sound. And remember, the conjunct, what is that? Not conjunctions. The 4, what is that? I will remember them. They were not there. The first original of way back Bible did not have all those punctuation marks. Sorry. There was no comma, there was no full stop, it was just one thing altogether. So therefore, in reading, you won't know where to take a major pause, where to comma, where to stop, whether it's a question. So therefore, this science was developed for that we must separate the vowels that are following each other. So that's why we have the movable ni in terms of estin. And then esmen, este, and asin. We are. Este, you are. And then ac, they are. Okay? I will definitely ask you in the following test to conjugate Amy in the present indicative active. Just like lu'uo in the present indicative active. Lu'uo, lu'es, lu'ei. This is only but the beginning. We still have more to come, which you will enjoy conjugating. Now we have the personal pronoun. Can you name all the personal pronouns you can identify who are in this class today? I don't have the Afrikaans translation of that, but name all the personal pronouns that you can see that are here today in this class. Huh? Pararai is not a personal pronoun. Vempi is not a personal pronoun, or Jack is not a personal pronoun. That is a proper noun. It's a name of someone. I'm talking about the persoonlijke voornaamwoord, a personal pronoun. Can you name them? That which I hear in the class today. His laptop is a personal pronoun. His. Of him. Okay? And what person is that? Is it the first person? Is it the second person? It's the third person. Of him. Okay? I'm not mentioning myself by name. It's standing in place of my name. It's a personal pronoun. Okay? You, I'm not mentioning you by name, David. I'm saying you, singular. It's a personal pronoun. You, plural. In Afrikaans, there's baie duidelik. There's julle. You, personal pronoun. And then they. That is third person plural. Okay? Third person singular. He. It's not I, it's not you, but it's he or she or it. It's third person plural. Okay? And then the you plural, I or we, and so forth. So that's what we talk about when we talk about the personal pronouns. So there are personal pronouns in this class today. It's I, you, and they. In the Afrikaans class, it's hulle, okay? And they refer to us also as they. We are third person. It's not I, it's not you, it's not he or she, it's they. We are playing around the person and the number of the personal pronoun. Good. Now, there you have them. They are here in this class. I, ek, you, yea, singular, he, she, it. He, say of that, we, you, plural, they, and so forth. Now, the paradigms of the first person personal pronoun in Greek. When we talk about the first person personal pronoun, what are we talking about? I. First person personal pronoun. You will have them in singular and plural. In enkelvoud and meervoud. Excuse there. You have your singular and your plural. And then let's see what we have. The nominative. We have ego, I. Oh, I'm sorry for that, so that you can always ek of, that is the nominative, singular, and then there is the nominative, plural, ons, we. Okay? And then the next case will be the accusative, me, of me or us. It still refers to ons or us, but in this instance it will be a direct object. It's accusative. Okay? So it's ego, me, and then you have mu, genitive, dative, moi. You don't have the vocative of the first person personal pronoun. Ego, I, me, me, and then mu, of me. Of me. Okay, I hope Ori is helping me with the translation. I'm sorry I don't have it on the board. And then the dative, moi. That is for or to me. Okay? To us, for us, hemin. And then the genitive, hemon, of us, fer ons. And then hemas, your first person accusative plural, us. Okay? Good. But then all this is in your study guide. I think Prof. Yori did a wonderful work for translating that in Afrikaans. Then you also have it there, also translated in Afrikaans. Good. Let's go to the second person, personal pronoun, both in singular and plural. Enkelvoud, or that the plural form, the meervoud. What are we talking about now when we say second person? We are done with I, okay? And now we come to you, okay? And what is that? In the nominative, you have su, you. Remember when I was asking you, onoma mu risima ti estin, ti onoma su estin. Or you can actually use se. Se. What is, or that is su, sorry, your name, of you, the name of you. And that is what we have in the third instant there. Ti onoma su, the name of you, estin. Ti onomata humon. What is the names onomata? It's onoma, singular, onomata, plural. Ti onomata humon. Estin, or esin. That is the plural of Amy. Okay? So there you have your humon. The you, yea, and then accusative, yea again by direct object. Fan, yea, of you, and then you, plural, and then humas, and then humon. I'm not much interested in the translation. I want you to know or to recognize all these inflectional changes. This is the most important thing that you have to know. Okay? And then the last one, the dative, soy, to you or for you, fer, yea. And then to you, plural also. And there is no vocative of that. Okay? Just rushing on time. Then we come to the third person, the derde persoon, personal pronoun. I'm sorry there. Yeah, the third person, personal pronoun. Now, this is a bit complicated one. The moment you talk about third person, you're talking about three people. You're talking about he, she, and it. So we're talking about three things. And then when we talk about he, again, we talk about masculine. All right? And then we talk about she. And then we talk about it. And all three will take place in the singular and also plural forms. Okay? Let's see, who are they? They are they. In the nominative, autos. Aute. Auto. Just like an adjective. Okay? And then the accusative, auton, auten, auto. I said the translation for now is not important to me. What I want you to master is these endings. Remember the neuter always. The teknon, teknon, teknon. Okay? Teknu, teknoi. Okay? And then we go now to the genitive and the dative. That is very, very common with the genitive, and that's also very common with the dative. Okay? Also there, very, very common. That will always mimic what we have in the masculine. And all three of them, these are only the singular forms of the third person personal pronoun. He, he, of, say, of, that. That is he, or she, or it, in all the cases. Okay? I will definitely ask you this in the test to conjugate all of them. Can you just count how many marks are there? If I just ask you from the first person and the second person and the third person to reduplicate, it's almost like 50 marks. So don't make a mistake. Now, look also in the plural forms. I won't go to the plural form, the autoi, the autai, the auta, auta, and then it's just your repetition of logos, adelphos, and then the pure alpha and the pure eta and your neuter. I think it's, what page is that? Lesson 7. Page 36. Okay? Now, how do I parse a personal pronoun? Say I underline a personal pronoun and say, parse it for me. How are you going to parse it? The first thing, you must tell me this is the personal pronoun. Say that this, you tell me that is the personal pronoun because I want you to recognize it. Okay? I want you to tell me, I know this is a personal pronoun. Secondly, what can you expect? The 3 characteristics: case, number, and gender. Okay? The naamval, geslag, and the getal. You can always tell me that. There you have about 5 things to mention. There you have 2, and there you have 2 things. Enkelvoud singular and plural, masculine and feminine, and there you are dealing with nominative, accusative, genitive, dative, and vocative. Okay? And then the 4th thing, you go now to the dictionary form, and then its meaning, and then you explain. Why? How do you explain, or what is it that you have to mention in explaining? You always come here. The explanation, you explain that case, most especially the case. Most especially the case. If it's nominative, then it will be a subject of the sentence. If it's accusative, it will be a direct object. If it's a genitive, then describes another noun in 3 ways or more, but basically what you know up to so far is source, relation, and possession. Okay, please remember those things. Now they sound stupid because every week in and out I am repeating them. I'm not just enjoying to pronounce them. They are very, very important in your Greek studies. And that's how you pass your personal pronoun. Now, what do we have there? My favorite part of the class, the homework. Yes, I won't give a class without giving a homework. I love it so much. I enjoy it. I enjoy giving a homework, and you must also try and enjoy your homework. You say?
Gives us more practice.
Yeah, it gives you more practice. It leaves you a real Greek scholar. Without the homework or some kind of work in a language, then you won't make it. Is that exercise 40? Let's see. No, it's 47, sorry. Exercise 40, because we did lesson 6. You go back to exercise 40. These are the things you have to do for me. Remember, in all these sentences, pause, you explain, and translate. And do yourself a favor also. You do the microstructure. I think I will still have to do a sentence or two with the rest of our brothers and sisters who are out there. I think I refer to a microstructure in our facilitation class. But then it's not a crisis. You can go back to study unit 2A and 2B. You will see how the microstructure is done. But we will do more of that as we continue with our class. Then it's so that we are all covered. So in that practice and review, please pause and explain, and then translate the sentence and do a microstructure. LXX, New Testament sentences, do the same. Pause, explain, translate, do the microstructure. Then let's come to exercise 47. That is lesson 7. Practice and review. Sentence 1, 3, 4, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Oh, that's a nice package. Yeah? It's a nice package. You will enjoy that. And then LXX 1, 7, and 8, and then New Testament 1, 2, 4, and 8. As I say, enjoy the rest of the day. Any question? Please, I need that, because then when we come after recess, I told you next week we won't have class. We have covered the work already. I'm giving you time to go back and read. I will hand back the test tomorrow, and then you can go back and revise all the tests and how you made and where you made mistakes. But during the class next week, Wednesday, and all the classes that are to follow, and the facilitation class, this is the work I want you to be doing. And do it thoroughly, please. Have that in your first class, when our first meeting, when we return, I want this. I want to see this. All of it. And that is your work that you will be working on from today until we meet again. And I want that. On 40, please. So this is your holiday stuff. You go and work on this. Next week we won't have a class. You will just have a facilitation class with Simon. But then when we meet, the very first time after recess when we meet, I want this. And I'm giving you ample time to work on that. You have next week to work on this. I will decide what to do with it, whether to take it in as an assignment or give you an unprepared test on that day when we meet. So please don't go and play around. Work on this. I'm begging you. It's very important. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are no questions, I hope you enjoyed the class. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.